Greetings, friends. It's me, Wayman, and I came on to do another video. This video is entitled, Why I'm a Creationist. Now, before I get 100 or so emails saying, Wayman, what do you mean? Did you all of a sudden turn to the religious mumbo-jumbo and modern interpretations of Hebrew literature? What's going on? Did you turn into fundamentalist? No. I believe in the metaphor of creation. Say, Wayman, what do you mean? I lived it. And I just got done dividing chaos and creating order to chaos. And I just went through a period in my life where things were pretty terrible. And basically I was attacked by the harpies, just like Aeneas and his men sat down to eat, and the harpies came and took everything they had, and they had to fight them off. That's what happened to me. Uncontrollable circumstances from the outside threatened to impact my life in a pretty major way. But luckily, I made it through. So, Carl Jung would say that making sense out of chaos is claiming that chaos. So, I'm of the opinion that the creation story was doing just that. It was defining the chaos to make sense of it. We do it every day in our minds. And sometimes the chaos and unformed things appear to be extremely scary, and we need to make sense out of that. Therefore, claiming part of the nonsense and making it sense. At that point, everything is not nonsense anymore, and you start becoming more defined. So, a whole new cosmos is created in our minds. Bereshit bara Elohim et Hashemayim v'ha'eretz. When the divine beings began to create the heavens and the earth, they began. First there was chaos. So they came upon it. And we do that mentally all the time. And I just seen a video by Britt Kane, Mr. Evolution 777, I think, where he's going through that right now. He's trying to make sense out of chaos. He has to move from his home. Everything is chaotic. He is going through a creation motif. And I think he'll be alright. As long as the Mayim, or the foul waters, don't consume him, he'll be alright. So, we wouldn't be talking about a Gilgamesh. We wouldn't even be arguing about a Noah. We wouldn't even be arguing about an Utnapishtim. We wouldn't even be reading about Achilles and Hector had the disorder been turned into order. And when the process is done, you're completely exhausted, and even the divine beings rest in the literature. So that's what I get out of the creation story. And if you think about it from the Hebrew point of view, creation story written by the priestly caste, the P text, it's right around pre-Babylonian, Babylonian time period. They were they knew they were being consumed by chaos. And the creation story not only was part of a national epic, a part of a teaching, but also it defined their individual consciousness, both as a nation and for each individual. And as the divine being defined things, separated chaos, and created order, naming things, labeling things through a process, he claimed back what chaos took over. So, Yahi or Vahi or. The divine being said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And the Ruka, or the breath or the wind of the divine being, is probably the spirit or the consciousness of man. And it's our intent to move the face of the chaotic waters and divide them and to make order out of chaos. We do it every day. Every day, we create and destroy worlds. Just like I believe it was in Hindu, the god Indra. Creator and destroyer of worlds. So, what is that? What is subconscious? What is the conscience? It comes out in a lot of these epic stories. Say, for example, the Tower of Babel. The consciousness, when put together with a bunch of individuals, scares the heck out of the divine beings. And it's one reason why the divine beings in the Hebrew literature destroyed the Tower of Babel. They were afraid that anything that man would want to put his mind to, he could do. We're doing that today. Social media, the internet, things like that. And it's also a curse. It's also why in the Hebrew stories, in the epic, they were kicked from the garden. It's also why Oedipus poked out his eyes. Because this whole thing of the conscious is, and the subconscious, we were thrown in a world, and we have to interpret that, and we do the best we can for each individual. And a lot of times, the meaning is lost when we try to legalize everything, because people don't interpret the world around them and things that are going on and symbols all the same. So actually it's better for denominations to split up, because they think about the divine and metaphors and symbolism in many different ways. They're still doing that today. Science has taken over. However, the subconscious can't be totally explained by science. Still a lot of things we need to do. However, those symbols still need to remain valid. Because when they're not, and when we forget the hero's path, we end up becoming chaotic and we lose our way. So that's why I'm a creationist. So take care, friends. And remember, if everyone's thinking alike, then somebody isn't thinking.